Hey guys, what's up? The Ratsu here from D&T Central, here with a new video of Black White Eldrazi and Taxes, going through a competitive Modern League. And before we jump into the Modern League, I'd like to do a quick deck tech for those interested in the choices I made in the deck, or those that are unsure of how this deck operates. So without further ado, here is Decktech. So first off, I'd like to talk a little bit about the man base. This is a black and white deck, although mostly white. That's why there are two plains rather, and only one swamp. These basics are very important, as there are many decks that have ways for you to search out basics such as Path to Exile, Ghost Quarter, or Field of Ruin, but at the same time you can have too many basics, as you are technically a 3-color deck. Not only do you have your white and black spells like Tahoe, Scholar, and Cabal, and also like specific like white and specific black, but you also have Thought-Knot Seer and Eldrazi Splacer, both of which have the colorless symbol somewhere within their text that forces us to run colorless lands. So right here are the 12 colorless lands in our deck that help us cast Thought-Knot or activate Eldrazi Splacer, Ghost Quarter, which obviously works with Leon Arbiter, Eldrazi Temple, which helps power out Thought-Knot, Wasteland Strangler, and Displacer, and also Displacer's ability, and then Caves of Koilos, which acts as a tri-land in our deck, with dual and drawback that does deal 1 damage whenever we cast a spell using a white or black mana from Caves of Koilos. And then, wrap up just our mana base, we have 3 Shambling Vent. While this does enter tapped, it gives us a man land, which can be very helpful to get a little bit of damage. The lifelink also helps us sustain against more aggro decks. It's all around a pretty good card, although it is, I have found it to be a little lacking with fillers in the format, but still fine. We have 1 Godless Shrine. Paying 2 life is not great, and we don't fetch land, so that's why there's only 1 in the deck. That being said, it's still a really good dual land. And finally, we have 4 Concealed Courtyards, the preferred dual land over Godless Shrine, because Black Royal Eldrazi and Taxes operates mostly on about 2 or 3 lands, as the only 4-drop in the deck is Thought-Knot Seer, which can be played as early as turn 2 of the Eldrazi Temple. A little more will be discussed later. So Concealed Courtyard entering tap is usually not that big of an issue, or at least compared to a drawback of, say, like just running extra basics, as that can lead to awkward mana situations. Anyway, look at the spells. We have 4 Aether Vials, a staple in any Death and Taxes deck in Modern. This lets us cheat out creatures into play. We have 29 in our main deck, and in addition, lets us get around counters, play them into speed to have surprise blockers, and do shenanigans with cards like Flicker Wisp. And also, this lets us keep hands that only have 1 land by Aether Vial, or lets us have our creatures enter the battlefield despite only having, like, for example, like 3 Eldrazi Temples in play, but no white or black sources. Also, we have 4 Path to Exiles, the best removal spell available in both black and white, although Fail Push is a close second. While sure, one advantage of Path to Exile in this deck, there's actually quite a few, which I'll discuss right now, is it works well with Leon Arbiter, as they cannot search the library. Also, the Path to Exile is a creature, and that exile card can be used to feel Wasteland Strangler. Anyway, next we got the 2 drops, all of which are Hate Bearish creatures. The 2 popular Hate Bears are in pretty much every Death and Taxes deck in Modern, are Leon Arbiter and Thalia here. Thalia makes their non-creature spells cost 1 more. Leon Arbiter makes searching libraries cost 2 more, but for the whole turn, rather than just each individual search. Leon Arbiter great against fetch lands. Thalia great against the many non-creature spells found in Modern. Next we got Tile Scholar, technically not Hate Bear, but more of a hand disruption creatures. Tile Scholar, 2 mana 2/2, takes a card but can get back, gives the opponent back when it dies. Of note, when Tile Scholar is named in the old format. So if you blink it in response to an enter battlefield trigger with, say, this Eldrazi Displacer or Flicker Wisp, the card that exiles one of the cards that will be gone forever. And then moving on to 3-drops, we have 2 Blade Splicers. I find this to be a pretty good card, as it can be both offensive and defensive, but you mostly use it as a good beater, also great with our blinkers. Speaking of the blinkers, we have 4 Eldrazi Splicers, great with Eldrazi Temple, and also grab Blinking Blade Splicer along with Untitled Chapter, or just protecting our creatures. Card does a lot of work. And then we also have 4 Flicker Wisps. It's a pretty good win condition. There aren't a lot of flyers in Modern, so a lot of times Flicker Wisp can just get in for enough damage. In addition, its Flicker ability is very good, especially when brought on instant speed with Ace of Vial, or when Flicker Wisp is blinked with Eldrazi Splicer. It can do nasty things. Flicker Wisp can kill tokens, it can lock down planeswalkers, keep Tron opponent off of Tron land, etc., etc. And we also have 2 Ace and Stranglers. This card is actually a little underwhelming in the current Modern meta. Most Black-White ENT lists I found run 3, but I've opted to go down to 2. The top decks in format right now are Dredge and Is It Phoenix. Those decks do not care all about Ace and Strangler. And in addition, some of the other top decks, such as Gert's Death Shadow and Mono Green Tron, also really don't care about Ace and Strangler. And a lot of decks that this card is good against are either bad matchups, but not very common right now. Band Spirits and Humans are on decline. I haven't faced either in quite some time. Or B, there are matchups like Burn and Giftstorm that, while they are popular, they are pretty good matchups for us. So all in all, I'm down to 2, but still is a very good card. It also has lots of synergies with Tile Scholar and Flicker Wisp. One of my favorite plays is to bring in Flicker Wisp, exile one of their permanents, and then bring in Wasteland Strangler, put that exile permanent into the opponent's graveyard, and then kill one of their creatures, or at least give them -3/-3. And by doing this now, the opponent will not get the card back with Flicker Wisp, as it's now in the graveyard instead of under exile due to Flicker Wisp ability. And finally, we have 1 Kumbal. This is usually a sideboard card, but I've opted to play one in the main deck as a more meta consideration. There are so many non-creature spell decks out there, especially Is It Phoenix, and getting one of these into play, barring the opponent lacks an answer, or maybe can protect it with Blazer or Flicker Wisp, it can easily take over the game. And finally, to wrap things up, we have 4 Dawnot Seers. It's basically a bigger Tide Hollow Scholar, although this has a few advantages, such as when it dies, they don't get back the card, but instead draw a card. Although that can also be a disadvantage when the opponent lacks cards in hand. Also, with 2 Eldrazi Temples on turns 1, turns 2, you can have the turn 2 Dawnot Seer, which is a very, very good play. Not very common, but when you get that, usually wins the game on its own. Anyway, moving on to the sideboard. We got 4 Fatal Pushes. This card is very good in current Modern format, current Modern meta. It removes many creatures, and a lot of decks that you bring in Fatal Push are not great matchups, such as Humans, Band Spirits, Merfolk, Jund, Black-Green Midrange, etc. Even as a Phoenix, these are all not Black-White ENT's best matchup, so having 4 Fatal Push feels pretty good. 1 Breath and Forge Tender against all the decks with Lightning Bolt. It turns out there are so many red decks out there. So Breath and Forge Tender usually will find a home in the main deck at least once or twice per league, I found. Next, we have 3 Rest in Pieces as our Graveyard Hate. I actually feel that we probably could go up 4th Graveyard Hate spell, but this is what I am bringing to show. Usually with Black Eldrazi and Taxes, you want to be a little faster compared to other builds, so I I don't want to have a 4th SMP necessarily, as it could slow us down a little bit. And I've been very unimpressed with Graphic Cage, that's why I'm not writing that. And Relic's never been a card I've loved. But anyway, Recipe is still very important. It's the many graveyard decks that dominate Modern right now. Fatal Looting is one of the most popular cards out there right now. People are calling for bans for it. Anyway, 2 Stony Silences. I used to run 3 Stony Silences in all my D&T decks, but now I'm down to 2 as KCI is banned, so really only bringing against Mono Green Tron, 4-color Prison, both of which are alright to good matchups for D&T, and there's also Traditional Fendi and Hard Scales of Fendi, both of which aren't even that bad. Like, they're probably about 50%. So you really don't have to run a 3rd Stony anymore. And we also have 1 Kambal. The other one's obviously in the main deck. As mentioned before, great against all the main non-creature spell decks. The damage it deals definitely does add up. It can lock down control opponents, for example, with its ability. 2 Rose Up Pontiffs. This card looks this card is a lot better than it looks. A lot of time you just bring it in as a combat trick or an anthem, and it's fine there, even against like control decks where worst case scenario can get enough damage. Best case scenario, it can kill, for example, some tokens made off of timely reinforcements to significantly increase your clock. This is also very good against some of the wider creature decks, such as elves, merfolk, and humans, which turns out are bad matchups for Black-White Eldrazi and Taxes. So once again, similar Fatal Push or Pontiff helps smooth out our bad matchups. We also have 1 Gain Allies on the card for the slower decks. There aren't that many slower decks out there anymore. So, plus Black-White ENT doesn't really want to have too many 4-drops, so that's why there's only 1 Gain rather than 2. And finally, 1 Zelda Wreckage. A really good card against both Phoenix and Dredge, as they have a lot of creatures that need to be exiled and a lot of them attack. Also, fine card against, again, a lot of those creature decks that we're not great against. And that wraps up the deck tech for Black-White Eldrazi and Taxes. And I will see you guys for the League gameplay. Alright, here for round number 1 of a competitive Modern League, playing Black-White Eldrazi and Taxes. We are on the play, and this hand is a little land light, but otherwise it has a fair curve, assuming we draw our 3rd land. Also, Thalia and Path are both castable spells that are pretty good. Overall, the hand is solid, so I will be keeping it. I definitely do like having hands with hate bearers when on the play. That kind of disruption is very good when you're going first. Playing against a deck with Hissing Quagmire. Looks like it is a black-green mid-range like deck. I drew Aether Vial. I could play Thalia, but this deck doesn't really have any 2 convert mana cost spells it wants to cast, so casting Thalia doesn't really do much to tax them. So I'm just going to play Aether Vial here. It's a little safer of a play, as it protects us from bricking on the land. And I'm a little worried that we will miss our land drop. Field of Ruin. And Dark Confidant. This definitely looks like black-green mid-range. Given the contents of our hand, and by that I mean our hand isn't very fast, I'm going to Path to Exile the Dark Confidant before it gets value for the opponent. Sometimes you can win off of Bob drawing the opponent 2 high CMC cards that kills them, but this is not a game that is going to go in that direction, I don't think. And we did miss land drop, but we do have an Aether Vial to help us eventually get there. It's not like the opponent really has a. I mean, the opponent can technically abrupt. I mean, Maelstrom Pulse or Aether Vial. Well, they can't do it this turn, but that's really the only answer that they have. The Aether Vial. They don't run Abrupt Decay anymore. I don't think. Oh well, I'm completely wrong, as they just Abrupt Decayed the Vial. Well, we did hit a land, but it's a tapped land. With Assassin's Trophy, usually people don't run Abrupt Decay anymore, but or maybe as like a one of. But here it is. Anyway, Conceal Courtyard. I think the best creature to play is the Blades Blazer, as it's just like the one you're on off first in case you want Flicker Wisp next turn, and this Blazer is a very valuable creature against them, so you usually want to hold on to it. If he'll push Thalia, I'm very fine with that. I really don't need Thalia to win this game, I don't think. Inquisition, that's a little unfortunate. Probably going to take Displacer or Flicker Wisp, as they both are powerful cards. Yeah, Flicker Wisp is the one they take. They're going to attack with Goy for 4. Sure, we can't really do anything about that, so we'll take it. They play another Goy, very unfortunate, but we did draw Eldrazi Temple, which is quite good for us. So anyway, I think what we're gonna do is attack with the Golem. They have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, we're gonna attack with the Golem for 3. I don't think the opponent's gonna block. Because if they do, we can just Wasteland Strangler their Tarmogoyf to kill it. And sure, we lose the Golem, but I'm more than fine with making that trade given how the current game is going. Yeah, I didn't think they'd block. Getting that damage could definitely matter. Now we are going to play Eldrazi Displacer. And then pass the turn and hold up Displacer activation on our Blades Blazer. With the hope is that they don't have an answer to this, so we can block a Goyf with Blades Blazer, and then blink it to make a Golem, and get value out of that. I mean, they could always kill the Blades Blazer in response, but it's fine. Assassin's Trophy? Sure. Go ahead. I mean, now they're not using it on the Eldrazi Displacer, so that could be good. Although they have Filvern, that could get rid of our Temple. They only have one hand after playing that Scavenging Ooze. Okay. I mean, we can just kill Scavenging Ooze right now. It doesn't really affect us. In fact, that is what I'm going to do now. I can also play Leon Arbor if I want. No, I don't think I want to do that. They still have 1 card in hand. That could become problematic for us. I wonder if we could get enough cards in our Exile Zone to Shrink Goy twice. I doubt it, but who knows? Oh, they have quite a huge number of creature lands at their disposal right now. There are 15 right now. We can only blink 1 Tarmogoyf. Maybe if we attack them, blink a Goyf. They got how many tree chops can they activate? Just 1, right? Yeah. So we could attack for 6, bring them down to 9. And we are presenting lethal. And then we can just simply link its armor whip. I think that's probably our best bet. I think we have to race at this point. Race as fast as we can. And then we will pass the turn and look to simply blink Goyf. Second field of Ruin, that could be problematic. Yeah, they can only activate one of these. I think they're gonna field of Ruin or Shielding Bend. I'm fine with that. Honestly, I'm would be more worried if they got rid of our Eldrazi temple. Not attacking with their creature lands though. They're at 9. They can activate only one creature land. They can cast a fail bush no matter what, so I think it's fine to just displace her one of the Tarmogoyfs. Actually, no. We could displace her the Wasteland Strangler so that fail push. Oh no, they already Field of Ruin, so they already have Revolt triggered, so that's not a play that we necessarily need to make. So I think it is simply best to just displace her one of the Tarmogoyfs and take 5 down to 7 and go from there. I'm assuming your last card's a removal spell of some sort. Yeah, Maelstrom Pulse. Nothing I can do about that. Except I could bring him down to 3 if I want. Don't think that's going to help though. Yeah, Thalia I don't think will help us. I think we were supposed to attack with both though. And then like only then we can just block. We have a Ghost Quarter we can use on one of their creature lands, and then we can block one or both their Tarmogoyfs. Yeah, this isn't looking great for us, but if they don't draw anything, I think we have a pretty good shot at still getting through. We just need them to brick for this one turn. This is probably the last turn of the game. Last turn cycle, we'll get one turn, we'll get one turn. Well, we might not even get a turn. It will entirely depend on what they draw. As I think a Fatal Push will... No, Fatal Push won't win them the game. But it will be really, really bad for us, to say the least. So we shall see what they have. They can activate 2 treetop villages. But then they're just dead, so this is going to be an interesting turn for the opponent. As they'll have to decide what they want to do. Whether they want to Field of Ruin. They might Field of Ruin our Ghost Quarter to force us to destroy one of their man lands. The Treetop Village is the best for many reasons. It's cheaper to activate, and the Death Touch doesn't matter on this board. The extra power and toughness definitely does, though. They attack with nothing, and they pass. That has to be... I don't know if it's a good or bad sign for us, actually. Unfortunately, we cannot attack unless we draw a way to take one of their creatures out of combat. We drew a useless land. That's unfortunate. Guess I'll just play it. I don't want to try and... I don't think it's worth bluffing. I think there can be value in playing it in case our draws lamp in a way that we need to deal the mana for like an Eldrazi Displacer. We don't have good attacks as the Tarmogoyfs can block our 2 3-powered creatures, and then they can activate 2 creature lands, so we have to pass and see what's going on. Is there a card in hand removal spell? instant speed removal spell. Because I feel like that's what it is if they're waiting. Oh no, maybe they're just Field Ring or Ghost Quarter. That is also very bad for us. Although I guess that's beatable. Trying to conceal Courtyard there was the opposite of what we wanted. Nope, this is a... Oh. Oh, it paid for Arbiter. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to pay for Arbiter because they're getting the temple, not the field. Sure. I was wondering for a sec why they tap so much mana. No point, we don't have any basics in our deck. Honestly, I'm a little surprised they didn't get rid of... I guess they kind of wanted to thin their deck. I think getting us off the temple can hurt if we top deck a Displacer. But if we top deck a Displacer, we're probably going to win anyway. Probably. Maybe not. Okay. So let's see if they're going to attack. No attacks. I'm a little confused as to why they're not playing something though. They can't just have 2 lands. Oh, they might have discard spells in hand. Okay, that makes sense. Because if they have lands in hand, then they should be playing them out. Ooh, thought not. That means you have to tap Ghost Quarter though. That is a little risky, but that's a thought not here. Since they no longer have Field Rune, I feel somewhat safe tapping out for Ghost Quarter, so I'm just going to play a Thought Knot now. It's mostly just a 4-mana 4/4 downside, because 99% sure that the cards in their hand include discard spells or lands, unless they have a removal spell that they'll fire off prior to Thought Knot resolving, or in response to Thought Knot's trigger. Like, if I exile a card from their hand, it's not going to be a relevant one. Is basically what I'm saying. But still, it is a good draw because now, if they have nothing in hand and they brick for 1 more turn, we could attack with all creatures and win the game because then they block Goyf and 3 power creature. Oh, they had Assassin's Trophy, and they're targeting Leon Arbiter. I have no clue why they're targeting Leon Arbiter, but they are. I would imagine that they target one of these. That really makes me scared of what their last card is. Maybe it's... I don't know. Oh, it's a Thoughtseize. Okay. I guess it's actually good that we got a card out of their hand, because it lets Wasteland Strangler do things. In case we draw a Flicker Wisp or Displacer, we want to do something like that, but I doubt that will matter. Interestingly enough, if we attack with these 3 creatures, I guess they still do have good blocks, so never mind. They almost don't, though. I don't know why they got rid of the Leon Arbiter, though. I would have imagined that they would have targeted something that would kill them in 1 hit. I don't see why Leon Arbiter is relevant right now. I guess they're worried about the strip mine at the Ghost Quarter, maybe. I don't know. They did draw a spell though. Okay, it's Dark Confidant. I'm not too worried about a card that could easily kill them. This is where things will get really interesting because of Bob. Tide Hollow. Okay, so 2-mana 2/2. So right now we can attack with all our creatures. Goyf blocks. So both the Goyfs will block these, and then Bob will block Wasteland. So I can get 2 damage to Thalia, bring them down to 1, but it's not like Bob will stay alive. And their Goyfs will still be alive and such, so that's definitely not worth it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play the 2/2 and hope Bob flips over a Planeswalker or Maelstrom Pulse or something else that costs a lot of mana. Or honestly, if I would not mind if it hit something like a Thoughtseize. Really do not want to see a Scavenging Ooze, though. I think that's the card that can help them the most, or if they naturally draw a Planeswalker. But anyway, we shall see what they reveal. It's a basic swamp. That's unfortunate. Unless if they also have a dud in hand. But now it's me. I was hoping they could reveal something that costs at least 1 mana. Okay, Leon Arbiter, sure. So now, I believe it's still the same math as before. They can activate 2 creature lands now. Correct? Yes. And then we can go score 1 of them, but then they have 4 blockers against our 5 attackers, so we would bring them down to 1. So we will just play Leon Arbiter. Maybe they're gonna fail push Leon Arbiter now. Would hate to lose him. But anyway, we shall pass our turn. Come on, 3-drop. It's a 1-drop, and it's a fail push. Oh no, that's bad. Okay, Twilight Mire, that's beatable. At least the fail push cannot hit something. I guess it hits a Golem token, which is unfortunate. As if they didn't have the fail push, we could attack for lethal. Okay, another Leon Arbiter, sure. I guess we'll play it. And pass a turn. Again, hope the opponent flips over. Now they only have to hit 2-drop, and their deck does have many 2-drop creatures in their list. So let's see. They reveal a land. Wow. Dark Confidant has been really nice to them. I'm jealous. Highly jealous. Revealing 2 lands and fail push. So they still have that fail push in hand. I just got rid of it here. No good reason why I did that. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. This won't be easy unless Bob can cooperate or I can find something. Like, I don't even know at this point. Now they've drawn so many cards, I don't think that we can win unless if Dark Confidant kills them. But maybe we could get away with a Flicker Wisp if we draw one. And then they like use Fail Push prematurely. Oh, they just concede. Okay. That's interesting. They weren't dead, I think. But I guess they realized that they probably weren't going to win that game. Even if they could have technically fail pushed their Dark Confidant, but then that means that they use a removal spell on a creature that could potentially block, so then they're in a very messy situation. I think my best guess is that their hand consisted of just all duds, to a point where they either A, they had to keep on praying that Bob did not flip over a 2-drop or greater, or B, that they had to remove their own Bob and just hope that we did not attack when they did that. Anyway, on to sideboarding. Against black-green mid-range, I like to bring in the Fatal Push, Crew, good answer to Goyf, Bob, Scoos, and when we can get Revolt, we can kill their Tireless Tracker, Kalidas, and other creatures found in their deck. Gideon is alright. Good Planeswalker. He does die to a lot of their removal spells, but he's a very big threat if unanswered. And then I like to bring in at least 1 Rest in Peace. Against black-green, I like 2 Rest in Pieces. This card makes Goyf a 1, makes Scavenging Ooze a 2/2, and has small upside synergies such as Wasteland Strangler and anti-synergy with Leon Last Hope. Anyway, terms of cards to take out, Cabal is bad, and as they don't have a lot of instant sorceries, they have a few. I mean, non-creature spells. Sorry, they have a few, but not enough to keep them in. Aether Vial is weak. On the draw, you want to have as high card quality as possible, and Aether Vial isn't really the kind of card you want. You want cards that either grant you card advantage or grant one-on-one. And Thalia is your weakest tape bear. They don't have a lot of non-creature spells. So usually it's just killed. She actually hurts us quite a bit as we bring in 7 non-creature spells in the deck. And anyway, time to submit for game number 2 against Black-Green Midrange. They choose the Beyond the Play, keep their 7, and this is very similar-ish to the other hand, as it has 2 lands, but we still have 3 drops, although this is also has a lot of 2 drops, 2 hate bears, and rip. I'm gonna keep it for sure. And go from there. They're playing a Blooming Marsh, but no discard spell. I'd love Leon with Concealed Courtyard to fail push their 2-drop, but I don't think that's worth it. I think I'd rather just shambling that. If I had a 3rd land in play, I think I would consider doing that. But if it's like, I will kill Dark Hofdon if that's what they play, yeah. A fail push, no matter what. Well, I'd never fail push anyway. If they played a Goyf or a Scooz, I would not kill it, but I'm not gonna let them get card advantage with their Bob. So yeah. And now the opponent's playing a Field of Ruin. And considering their options, this could get bad for us if they play a Planeswalker. I'm not sure if we can really deal with one. I guess Leon the Veil's not the end of the world. Okay, sure, Tarmogoyf. I can fail push Goyf, but with Rest in Peace in play, I don't think I want to. I don't even know if I want to play Rest in Peace yet. In fact, I'm not going to. I'm at 20. I can wait before I deal with the Goyf. I just want to take a look at their hand with the Tide Hollow and go from there. No lands. Wow, they got some good cards in hand. Shoot. Okay, here's what I think we do. I think we take the Leon of the Veil and force them to Assassin's Trophy or Tide Hollow. By doing this, number 1, we're going to get a land, which will really help us. And number 2, they will no longer have an answer Rest in Peace, so that both their Goyf and their Scooz will be severely weakened. So that's what we're going to do. So really, we hope that they don't draw a fail push here. But if they do, they do. Anyway, they're going to attack with their Goyf. And let's see if they're going to Assassin's Trophy. It gets in not 2 more damage, 4 more damage. Not 2. But it still is extra damage. You know you want that extra damage, opponent. Oh, they're going to Field of Ruin? I shambling event. Okay. Let me think for a sec. Part of me wants to take a fail push. I mean, take a fail push to Goyf right now. I don't think I need to, though. Yeah. I keep on missing my 3rd land, though. Shoot, that's bad. That is bad. Okay, let's start by attacking with the Tide Hollow Scholar. And then I can either Thalia or Rip. I'm not going to Leon Arbiter. I don't want their Assassin's Trophy on my Tide Hollow to result in me not getting land. I kind of like just Thalia, playing Thalia here, and then seeing what happens next. They could just play Scavenging Ooze, but it's not like it's gonna help them a lot. They drew a land, so we don't know their full hand, but we know all the cards -1. I really want them to play their Assassin's Trophy. Okay, we drew a land anyway, so I don't care as much now. Anyway, we're going to attack with both and see if this will prompt a trophy now. Nope. I wonder if they're trying to hit a 5th land so that they can cast Languish and leave their Tarmogoyf alive. That might just be their plan. I think we should just rest in peace. But then if they Assassin Trophy into Languish and then Scavenging Ooze. Oh no, but we can just fail push. Maybe not. This is getting really tricky. This game. But they have to hit the 5th land in order to Languish. This is very interesting. But then again, if they are Assassin Trophying the Rest in Peace, this will slow them down a lot, possibly, quite possibly. You know what, we have 2 Eldrazi Displacers, which should help us out. To deal with stuff like Liliana. I think I'm just gonna Rest in Peace now. I really don't want to play one of these 3 drops into Languish if they draw the 5th land. I can't play Leonardo because Assassin Trophy. And I don't want to just do nothing. I think I want to continue impacting the board. I can beat Tarmogoyf and Scavenging Ooze right now. I can fail push whichever one's more threatening, and then the other one I can just lock down with Displacer. I have 2 of them anyway. Now they're gonna trophy. Oh, they're trophying the Tide Hollow. Interesting. Very interesting. Did not expect them to do that. I think I'll get black. Mana. So now they have Languish, Scooz, and Liliana in hand, and 1 unknown. Okay. Notice how the cards are going, like card advantage wise. We're not really that down, although Liliana is now going to make things a little more difficult, as we will be losing Thalia. Did just draw a Ghost Quarter though, for what that's worth. I think that is actually a really good draw. I think we can and we should Ghost Quarter them. The first, I'm going to just play my creatures. The reason why we're going to Ghost Quarter them is that they are still not playing lands, and if they want to uptick Liliana, they're going to have to discard spells. Sure, Scavenging Ooze isn't a very good spell under Rest in Peace, but still, I want to make sure that they're feeling awkward with uptaking Liliana, so constraining their mana seems like it's going to be a pretty good plan. I also don't want them to Languish next turn. I'm getting a little worried about this Liliana. I also think that we're going to discard Fail Push. Anyway, I mean, I have to play 2 creatures because I don't want them to just cast a discard removal spell. But at the same token, I don't want to play too many creatures in the Languish, which is what I've been doing the whole game, trying to play around that as much as possible while still moving forward with our threats. Anyway, does it matter trying to get rid of? I really don't think it does. Let's get rid of the Overrun Tomb, I guess. Pass the turn. Hope they don't Languish next turn, but if they do, they do. Again, I think we're scoring Fail Push, but it will depend on it might change based on the information that we are given. Well, that's not a languish. That's an assassin's trophy on the rip though. So now we might not get a fail push. Because we might need the removal spell. I think we get to get rid of Leon this turn though, which is quite nice. I really like Flickerus, but I don't think Flickerus is what we want. Yeah, I think we just want to have a redundant displacer. Take your scavenging use. Okay. And pass the turn. Okay, it's not a great job, but it's okay. So what we're going to do is let's see, we have 6 mana. Yeah, I'm just going to Fatal Push the Tarmogoyf. Actually, no. Actually, this is quite interesting. This is how this game is going. And then they also have language still in hand, so I don't want to overextend into that card. Yeah, what an interesting game. What an interesting game. Yeah, I think what we have to do is, I think we have to fail push the Tarmogoyf. And then they're F6, so I'm going to kill Liliana like this. And then pass the turn, still having the caves in case they play Liliana. And again, I don't want to overextend Languish. I want to be able to rebuild. I don't think it's too greedy. I mean, too slow. Sure, Dark Habitat's fine. Am I fine trading Leonardo with it? I think I am. Play attack with both. See if they're willing to block. I'm willing to play. I think we can play an attrition-based game. See if they're willing to block or not. They are. Wow, I'm a little surprised about that. Again, we do have the path in hand, but we have another creature, so it's very difficult for whether or not I want the language or not. I don't think I want to. I think I just want to keep playing as slow as possible. Are you gonna fail push? Okay, that's fine. It's not like I could have protected it. Now I will play a Displacer though. Okay, sure. We can beat that Tarmogoyf. Because what we can do now is we're not even in the path yet. We're just going to play as slow as humanly possible. And we will play Ghost Quarter, play Displacer, pass the turn. We're at 14. Interesting. I'm going to actually take 3 damage here. Again, I want to play as slow as possible. In case they have a discard spell like Thoughtseize or Inquisition, I'd like to not tap out and let my Path Exile go away. Maelstrom Pulse, fine. I guess I got punished because they never drew land and we're just drawing all lands, but you never know how these games are going to go. I do hope that they start flying out eventually. This is not great for us, but I mean, one of their cards is Languish, and I don't know how much Languish is going to do right now. It will definitely do things in the future, but we still don't have lands, and we're still drawing them. Our deck is really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lands. Okay. Wait. Ignore me. 9, 10. Okay. Leonardo. Sure. I'll play it. I think the play Leon of the Veil they will minus, so I'm just going to not play the Games of Koilos to make them think that I have a Path Exile in hand. Or a Fail Push. Maybe prompt to Thoughtseize. Hopefully this isn't a Planeswalker. Well, it is. Oh. This will be difficult, but possible. I do not expect the Satna will survive, but you never know. Maybe all they have hand is Fail Push? I hope that they have like a Maelstrom Pulse in hand. That's what the removal is. Not an Assassin Trophy, please. Well, it is an Assassin Trophy, but they did not take it. Because they have still have the Languish, which we knew about. So unfortunate. I almost wonder if I should just take the Languish to force them to. Wait, if I think I have to take the Languish. I mean, sorry, I could just take the trophy and force them to Languish on their turn. Then they can also. Sure, I want to time out. Just take the Languish. It's just a safer play. I mean, smarter play for the most part. Yeah. The Assassin Trophy, sure. We still have one basic in our deck that I can grab. Never mind, we forgot to pay for Arbiter because I don't want to time out, so I'm playing much quicker than before. Okay, it's firing up the Inquisition. And so they right now have. They use the Trophy and Inquisition, so they have 2 unknowns. Oh yeah, because they drew a card, thought not. I was wondering how they got to that. Okay, Dark Confidant, sure. They drew a land. So part of me was hoping that they would take a lot of damage, but I guess they could just kill it at any time. So them dying to Dark Confidant's not really realistic. So they're going to minus Liliana. Play Field of Ruin. Play Scavenging Ooze. At this point, I think we are probably just dead. Let me just see what we draw. I'm a little curious what their hand is. I'll concede afterwards. I think, depending on what it is, maybe I won't. It's not a very good hand, though. All things considered. But then they can start. Yeah, I'm just gonna save some time, just concede now. Not looking great for us, but it's alright. But I'm gonna draw in this matchup's hard. This matchup is definitely not great for Block Whale Eldrazi and Taxes. This is not the what you want to be seeing when you're piloting this deck, but that's okay. Rest in Peace usually is slow, but I was very impressed with it, and also when I've done matches earlier, testing this deck out and getting used to it once again, I found Rest in Peace to be very good, so I'm going to keep both of them. and just not even change between being on the draw to being on the play. So anyway, we will play first, and this is very land heavy, like very land heavy. Just looking to keep. I really don't want to mulligan. So right now we are praying that we don't flood out like we did last game. Also, it would be helpful if we can draw, dodge some discard, but that's okay. Or even hit on, let's see, that'd be really good. That's not a discard spell, at least. Ooh! Right on time. Turn 2 Thought Not Seer on the play. Let's see what this does. This could do great things, and it's also good to see a hand full of removal. Well, they have lots of lands and Tarmogoyf, Languish, Fail Push. I think we have to get rid of Fail Push because of Earn Catacombs, but same token, I am a little worried. As Path Exile will help them get Languish. It's so tempting to maybe even just let them. No, I think we should take the Fail Push and try our best to win before Languish. It won't be easy to do that, but I think it's possible. I think with Eldrazi's Blazer and Flickerless, we might be able to keep them off of mana in a way that stops them from casting Languish. This is definitely a hand that we can beat, but at the same token, this is also a hand that we can easily lose to. It's really going to depend on the removal that the opponent brings to the table. That's 0-1 Tarmogoyf. Ooh, Fail Push is an excellent draw. We might need Ghost Core ourselves, though. That will be quite awkward, but sometimes you have to do what you gotta do. Anyway, we are going to play Eldrazi Displacer here. Pass the turn. And this is probably the most important turn for the opponent. Because if they're just going to play like a creature here or something like that, I think we are in great shape. They drew a Field Rune for turn. Interesting. I actually don't mind they Field Rune us at all. I actually hope that's what they do and just pass the turn. Actually, they're gonna Field Rune that one. Deal. I don't know why they Field Rune the end. Actually, never mind. Ignore me. I know why they did the untapped one to force us to activate Displacer now rather than later. Actually, we could grab basic Swamp to Fail Push Goyf, but I do not think that that's a correct line of play. So we're gonna. Oh wait, how fancy should we get? We could also allow Eldrazi Displacer thought not to get rid of their Languish. This is risky if they hit a Fail Push, but I think this is actually a way better line. So we'll do some first, as that's the way it works. And wow, all lands. Well, the opponent was the one that flooded out this game. Unfortunate that a lot of these games have been determined by drawing too many lands, but that's magic for you. Anyway, I don't think they're going to chump block with Tarmogoyf, but they might. So what I'm going to do here is attack with both, and then no blocks. That's what I expected. Then what we're going to do here is a Flicker Wisp. Target our doesn't matter. I guess Plains is a fine target. Root Den Step. Get back to Plains. And then we're going to Displacer target Flicker Wisp. And then with the new Flicker Wisp trigger, we're going to target their Hidden Quagmire so that they can no longer draw a Languish off the top, Languish or Damnation, to kill us. I wonder if they're playing Languish. I wonder why they're playing Languish over Damnation, speaking of which. I guess because Tarmogoyf and Skoos can easily survive off of them. I guess the opponent kept a hand through because they had Languish and also Fail Push and Tide Hollow. But definitely a interesting hand to see from them. Anyway, that will wrap up match number 1 of a competitive Modern League with Black Eldrazi and Taxes, and I will see you guys for round number 2. Alright, here for match number 2 of a competitive Modern League playing Black Eldrazi and Taxes. We are on the play. Excuse me, and this hand is pretty solid. It definitely is matchup dependent. 2 path exiles are obviously not good against blue-white control, but against, or even really Dredge, although there's nothing really good against Dredge game 1. But like if we're playing against, is it Phoenix, Burn, Grixis Shadow, any of those top decks, this is a pretty good hand. Also against Tron, we have Leonardo plus Ghost Quarter on the play, a very viable avenue to winning a game. And also this Flicker Wisp is hanging out here, not really doing much. So really we're hoping we're playing against a creature deck, or a deck that really cannot beat Leonardo, or else his hand doesn't really do too much. But thankfully the majority of decks in the format are creature decks, so also the majority of decks, maybe not majority, but a large number of decks in the modern format, have fetch lands, so turn 2 Leonardo on the play is quite taxing. Anyway, we are waiting for the opponent to decide whether they are going to keep or mulligan their 7-card hand. Quite interesting how this hand would be pretty good if we play against a Blood Moon deck. Oh, okay, now we're playing. No more talk about Blood Moon decks. We're gonna play the basic planes and pass the turn. Just gonna mention how we have both a basic swamp and basic planes in hand, so Blood Moon doesn't really hurt us that much. Ooh, it is Tron. Although Relic makes you think it's Eldrazi Tron. Although I guess normal Tron plays Relic as well. I've just recently played against Eldrazi Tron, and I am a little fearful that is our opponent right now. Eldrazi Tron is surprisingly not a great matchup for Eldrazi and Taxes, as it just doesn't work out well. Not what we wanted to see. This is quite bad. The only creature we can play right now is Leonardo, as we missed a white source and we drew another Flicker Wisp. Okay. The good news is that the opponent's hand isn't even that fast. Also, it's Mono Green Tron, which in and of itself is pretty good news. Also, they can't actually crack Relic now, or else they lose their Urza's Tower. I mean, they can if they want to lose their Urza's Tower, but I don't think they want to, yeah. So now we are making things awkward for them. Yeah, it's another basic forest right there. This is essentially making spells cost, what, 2 more? It's so weird. I don't know how you describe that tax. Like, they always have to leave up 2 mana. Oh, Leon. This will get fun. You can play it now, it doesn't matter. Not this turn, but next turn I can blink Leonardo with Displacer, so now they have to pay 4 mana, so they can no longer tap any mana. That is so brutal. And if we draw another Eldrazi Temple, then we can just strip bind them. Simple as that. Is that another Urza's Tower? That is another Urza's Tower. And are they going to Ballista? Okay. I guess they'll Ballista right now. Sure. A little unfortunate. I would love to Path Exile my own. Leon and Arbiter. Guess I'll strip mine one of the Urza's towers. I think it's fine. Just keeping them low on mana in general is gonna be fine, even though this isn't really keeping them off of Tron land. It looks like they're not gonna be able to achieve Charm for a while anyway. And if we hit White Source, we get to start doing Flickerist shenanigans with Displacer, and that should put us in a very good position. Hey, speaking of which, there's the White Source. We're gonna attack with Displacer, bringing the opponent down to 13, and then Flicker Wisp will be cast and will target our Caves of Koilos, I believe. No, Basic Plains is a little bit better to target. And now, I'm just trying to determine whether we want to do something now in terms of keeping them off of mana, or if we want to do it later. Okay, sure, you can relic us. Oh no, Leonardo. I think I want to wait. In case they have another walking ballista. Yeah, someone's crying. Sure. Grabbing power plant. They play the power plant. And presumably they pass the turn. Okay, they're gonna crack star. Okay, they're not gonna crack star. Okay, they're gonna pass the turn. No. I think there's always a chance that they have Dismember, so I'm just going to pass priority. I don't want to give them a window to Dismember. Thalia's not bad draw. Ooh, I should have played Thalia, but I think it's fine attacking first. So Thalia, I guess Thalia is no different than just playing a Flicker Wisp. Or like, for the most part, anyway, we can play Thalia now. And now we have Lethal on board, and we can Flicker Wisp one of their things. I'm gonna wait though. I want to see if they're gonna do something now, like crack Relic. I'm just a little curious to see what they do with their mana. This could actually be bad for us, though. They do have enough mana to play Oblivion Stone and activate it, huh? Yeah, I guess that's probably the opponent's one and only out. Shoot. Oh, no, never mind. They can't. No, they do have enough mana to play Oblivion Stone, but I don't think they have enough to activate it. Because they can play like their last Tron land, but they don't have all for them to play. They can play Oblivion Stone to that attack. Never mind. That's not an out. So I guess I'll just do it now. Displace our target Flicker Wisp. Sunder end step. And then I think we actually target the power plant. As the tower makes 3 mana and they're not gonna be able to achieve Tron anyway. So if they have if you're gonna play like the Urza's Mine, I'd rather they want to play a spell with all their lands, I'd rather them tap the tower. Again, in order to play Oblivion Stone, they have to tap 4 mana, which would be all their mana. So then they would not have enough mana to activate it. So essentially their outs are very limited. Pretty much what they need is another Tron land. Okay. Such as they need actual Urza's Mine. And then they have to play Walking Ballista and then so that they would not die. And then when we go to Flickerless one of their Tron lands, they have that other Tron land in their hand, so then they can just play that Tron land and then play Oblivion Stone. But they did not have that very specific out, so we did end up taking game 1. Moving on to sideboarding. Our 2 Stony Silences will come in. Turns off their Chromatic Star, Chromatic Sphere, Expedition Map, Walking Ballista, Oblivion Stone, and other assorted artifacts that may come in through the sideboard. Relic Pretendus Nobly would be turned off by Stony Silence, although it will not be in their deck after sideboarding. And then when it comes to cuts, we can cut Wasteland Strangler. We also cut Aether Vial, as it doesn't really work with Stony. Oh yeah, speaking of, almost forgot about Cabal. They have a plethora of non-creature spells, so this card will deal some damage to them. It's honestly going to be better than an Aether Vial under Stony Silence, so I'm going to take out the Aether Vial. I'm going to take out the 3-mana 3/2. And I don't think this is a good matchup for Orzhov Pontiff. You'd only be using it for the Anthem, and I don't think the Anthem is worth it. So I will submit as it is. Warning on the draw. I forgot if I discussed this in the prior video, but winning on the draw against Tron is very difficult. This is the exact hand you want, though, to beat them on the draw, so this is a little lucky on our part. What you want is Aether Vial, Ghost Quarter, and that's pretty much all you need. And then your plan will be you will have to Ghost Quarter them. This is assuming that they have a turn 3 Tron. And the only way you can disrupt turn 3 Tron on the draw is through Ghost Quarter, and the Ghost Quarter will not have Leon Arbiter to make it a strip mine. So once you Ghost Quarter, you are down land, and they are not down land. They just get basic forest. So in order for us not to lose tempo, we'd have to have an Aether Vial in play. I actually think it's correct to play Caves of Koilos over Ghost Quarter. The reason for that is that we don't want to expose our Ghost Quarter to their own Ghost Quarter, for example. That may sound a little niche, but we don't really have any ways of interacting besides this one Ghost Quarter. I guess Leon Arbiter might, but the odds are they're going to have a creature removal spell in their hand, or they can easily find one. Post-board, they have lots of those. And Sylvan Scrying, okay. They play the basic forest, though, so we don't have to actually use the Ghost Quarter next turn. Quite fortunate for us. Let's see what we draw, though. That will determine my play. I'd love to hit Athalia. I don't want to play Leon Arbiter. I'd rather make it come out of Aether Vial in surprise. Because if I play Leon Arbiter, I'd be playing Ghost Core as well, and that would be telegraphing the opponent, hey, these are threats you have to deal with right now, but at the same token, I want to not lose any time. There's always a chance that the opponent nature's claims are Aether Vial, and then we get severely punished for not playing the Leon Arbiter. There's always a chance that the 2 damage that we can get through attacking Leon Arbiter by playing a turn early could matter. Damage really does matter in this matchup. Sphere and pass the turn is what I'm assuming they're going to do. Actually, never mind. We're going to set a stop for upkeep. See what we draw. Another Arbiter would be amazing. Third Path Exile is not what we want, but that's not the end of the world. So what we're going to do now is do on their upkeep. If they had a removal spell for Leon Arbiter, they would have fired it off last turn while we were tapped out. So I think it's relatively safe to Ghost Quarter right now. Oh wait, I should have done on their turn. Yeah, that was a slight mistake. I think. Yeah. This actually gives them one more mana if they want to play a Sylvan Scrying or Expedition map. Let me check something real quick. They grabbed. Sure, I can't find their Sylvan Scrying. Oh, they revealed Urza Tower. Okay, so let's take the tower. I want to see which one they showed off of the Scrying, and that's the one I kill, as that is the one that they're least likely to have in their hand. They're gonna pay for Arbiter. Yep. Grab their basic forest. Just in case they kill Arbiter, I would like to. I'm not going to F6. I will gladly pat that out my own Arbiter. Gladly. So they're gonna play a Sanctum into Scrying. Ballista. Star, okay. And pass the turn. Okay. Wow, they're so far away from Tron right now. I mean, if they had an Expedition map or Sylvan Scrying, they would have fired off while Arbiter was paid for, I'd assume. Unless they're very worried about Ghost Quarter or maybe even Arbiter from this Vial. Who knows, though. Let's see what we draw. Cage of Coilos would have been alright earlier. Ooh, a Surgical Extraction charging Ghost Quarter. Sure. I don't know why they brought in Surgical Extraction. I don't know why people bring in Surgical Extraction against me. I saw it done earlier when I was playing this deck. I forget what deck I was playing against, but I do remember someone casting a Surgical Extraction against me. And I don't understand why people bring in this card. They got no card advantage. Now they didn't even get rid of the Ghost Quarters. Okay, that was, I guess, a mistake by them. Oh, because they couldn't, because they didn't pay for Arbiter. Oh no. I think, yeah, I mean, Leonardo obviously made Surgical Extraction not work anymore. I'm not sure who, if I had to pay for, if they had to pay for it, or if it was me that had to pay for it, as it wasn't my library getting searched for. That is an interesting rules interaction that I really don't care about, as I don't play Surgical Extraction, but it's still one that is quite interesting that I'd love to learn more about. But it's not very relevant right now. Anyway, we hit them for 2, and we're going to probably play Blades Blazer, depending on what they do. Thrag Tusk. Okay. That is definitely annoying, but it's also beatable. They're going to gain 5 and get 3/3, but we can Path Exile the 5/3 and then bring in Blades Blazer. They have 3 cards in hand right now. I'm deciding if I want to path the Beast or if I want to flicker with the Beast. I think I want to Path the Beast. I think this game's gonna come down to I don't think we're gonna need yet another Path to Exile. Only 3 cards in hand. I think I just want to play as fast as possible. So I want to use my Violent 3 to flicker with my Blade Splicer to maximize the damage we can deal. Anyway, we'll attack for 6. Bring them down to 13, and then we'll just be, this is 6 damage, and playing our Flickrous will bring us up to 12 damage, but then we can play in our Flickrous, but not even blink the Blade Splicer to have lethal. Yeah. I'm gonna obviously blink Blade Splicer here though, but anyway, they don't have enough mana to board wipe. Oblivion Stone will cost them a total of 8 mana to use. Old Dust is a 7-drop. I guess they could have Walking Ballista. That would definitely be problematic, but still. I'm not gonna play around. I can't really play around actually. It's not like I don't want to, just that I can't physically play around Walking Ballista. And anyway, they cannot beat this board and end up conceding the game, ending our round 2 match. And I'll see you guys for round number 3. Alright, here for round number 3, our competitive Barn League with Black, White, Eldrazi and Taxes. We are once again on the play, and once again we are presented with a fine keep. And by fine keep I mean a very good keep. I don't know why I was beginning to downplay this hand. Aether Vial is present, so are a mix of lands and the spells vary in converted mana cost. Excuse me. I noticed myself getting a little burpy right before right at the start of a match, usually because I take a sip of water. All this talking does leave me quite dehydrated, quite fast. Anyway, the opponent's laying out for the turn 1 Ghost Quarter. That can mean anything to me. I think I'm just gonna slam Leonardo. I don't care what they do. Ghost Quarter makes me think it's Dimir, but it could definitely be Tron or Control. I don't think any other deck plays it. Ooh, this does look like Dimir. Oh, wait. This looks like a Thought Knot. Uh-oh. Well, there goes my Path to Exile. But let's do have Wasteland Strangler. That could get fun. And they just use a Simian Spirit Guide. Okay. So, there's a good chance that this game's just Thought Knot Seer versus, they're Thought Knot Seer versus all of our shenanigans. And our shenanigans do include Flickrous plus Wasteland Strangler, which will be hard after we go score their Eldrazi Temple, but whatever. I'm 100% gonna do this. I think there's a very good chance that their hand was basically, I'm gonna play Thought Knot Seer and hope I win. But maybe I'm just completely incorrect. They need Spirit for so they can cast their Card Ape. And they're going to hit us for 4, bringing us down to 15. Oh, they got rid of our Shambling Vet. Alright, now the Wasteland Strangler, Flickrous is dead unless we draw the, I forget what it's called. The Eldrazi Temple right now. Okay, we did. And as we do, let's discuss how terrible this is. If I want to Wasteland Strangler plus Flickrous, I have to kill my own Leonardo, which is a very cruel way to kill Leonardo. Oh wait, there's a much more fun play we could do, which is destroying their Cavern Souls with Flickrous plus Wasteland Strangler. Oh wait, there's a way more fun play we could do. Even more fun than that. Okay, we're gonna do that instead. Now I'm gonna attack. Although this also involves them not playing like something insane, which they look like they might be. Shoot. This was way too greedy, wasn't it? Oh no, never mind, our shaper can beat that. Okay, this is oh wait, what am I doing? I can't play this at instant speed. This is fine though. My bad, I'm rushing a little bit. Oh wait, they have something in exile right now, so that means Spirit got that is right. I could just kill Thanatsir right now. Yeah. No. I have a different plan. Because I also want to flicker with their not. Shoot. Okay, I'm just gonna do sorry, I've been thinking this through. I think I'm just going to do the Wasteland Strangler play. I don't know why I forgot that I could not play my spells in instant speed, but I did. This draws a card also, it should help inform my decision. And it did. Now I'm gonna keep Aether Vial on 3. As we just get to play Thought Knot right now. Well, we kinda got punished for our play. Anyway, they have nothing in exile, sadly. Oh no, but we can put something in their exile zone. And then Flicker with Star Wasteland Strangler. Whatever. We're just going to attack. I just want to get damage through ASAP. Before we... I assume they're going to block, yeah. This is a little sloppy, but... I think we're still in a great position. Ooh, Copter. I think we can beat Copter, though. Copter is a card that is terrible. You don't have a lot of creatures in play. And our goal right now is to make sure that I don't have a lot of creatures in play, so I think we're going to be fine. I think a Copter is going to be fine. Yeah, Serum Power does nothing, and Eternal Scourge does do something. Shoot. Because they can get cast from Exile Zone. That's a little awkward. I guess that might be why they got Realized Smasher. They realized that was Wasteland Strangler rather than Leon Arbiter. They realized that's a way to deal with the Scourge, but that is okay with me. Anyway, we're gonna take Reality Smasher for sure. And move to end step and bring in Flicker Wisp. And what the Flicker Wisp is gonna do is target their Eldrazi Temple. So now they cannot cast their Scourge. Okay, they just concede. That makes sense. They're gonna take a whopping 9 damage, and then the Scourge would not really answer. It's on that Seer. They're just in a world of pain. While they just had not much going on their side of the board. Anyway, this is colorless Eldrazi. That guy, Trish, don't really play against a lot. So, I'll try my best to sideboard. I'm not sure if it'll be perfect. Fail push is alright. It deals with dot if you can get Revolt. And I think their deck runs Eldrazi Mimic. And that's a way to deal with that. That's not great. Solar Wreckage. It does get taken by Thought Seer. And Exiling's not great. There's the Eternal Scourge. I think Cabal is the card in our deck that we can definitely cut though. think Orzhov Pontiff's actually fine. I think having it as a combat trick seems pretty good. I think Wasteland Circle is also fine. Wasteland Strangler, as it can make their Eternal Scourge moved to the graveyard, which will hurt them substantially. In fact, I almost want to bring in 2 Orzhov Pontiffs. Yeah, but I don't think Thalia is that bad. I almost don't want to even cut Thalia. And the question is, how many Fail Bushes do we want, if any? Triggering Revolt in Black-White ENT is a lot harder than you would think, but I think having a couple of these will be important. I think we can cut maybe 1 Aether Vial. No. No, I'm not gonna bring in the Fail Push. The Fail Pushes, yep. Well, I guess we don't need, I think we can cut 1 Leonardo, at least. Maybe even 2. It looks like their deck is very fragile mana base wise, so Leonardo plus Ghost Core will be pretty good, but I think it's too much of a dream to live. So I think we can cut 2 of those for 2 Fail Pushes, and then run like this. I think on the play it's more reasonable to go for Arbiter plus push. Anyway, here we are for game number 2 against colorless Eldrazi. We're gonna keep this hand. Aether Vial is great. Path is great. Thalia is alright. Turn 1. What is this? Okay. Turn 1 Mario Shaper. You got it, opponent. I am a little worried that they're gonna play turn 2 Thought Knot. But I don't think we can play too scared. I don't think it's worth holding up Path Exile just for a turn 2 Thought Knot. Yeah, okay, Mario Shaper into Mario Shaper. Okay. Yeah, that's for 3. We're at 17. Now, however, we will play a little safer and not fire our Path Exile just yet, as Aether Vial will let us bring in Thalia quite smoothly. Ooh, Thought Knot. That's actually probably too slow, but you never know. Anyway, we're going to pass a turn and plan on Path Exiling Matter Shaper. Or Thought Knot, depending on what to do. My guess is they're going to attack first, and while I don't like taking damage against a deck that has Reality Smasher, I think we have to do it. I think Thought Knot here is going to be very difficult to beat if we just let it resolve right now. Okay, Copter, sure. And now we'll path one of these Mario Shapers, although they only have 2 lands. No, I think it's fine to path one of them. They only have 2 cards in hand anyway. So, and so there's a good chance that their cards could just be things like Simian Spirit Guides or Serum Powders or additional Copters. Drew another land. Sure, I guess we'll play the Swamp. Play Blade Splicer. And then play Thalia. Funny enough, they can't actually play Reality Smasher without dying. Because we have a total of 5 first strike damage. Thought Knot time? Thought Knot time. I wonder what they're going to take. I think they're going to take Thought Knot. I'm assuming they have a card in hand that they're... Never mind, they don't have a card in hand they really valued. Instead, they're scared of the Flicker Wisp. Maybe because Flicker Wisp deals with Copter. I guess that's actually probably fair. Copter might just win them the game. We die pretty fast to it. And we don't really have a clock of our own. That being said, we have many answers to it. None of which are present in our hand, but that's okay. Because we can find an answer. Anyway, here's their hand. And I'm obviously going to take the non-eternal Scourge card, which ends up being a Spatial Contortion. Yeah, we do need to find answers to this soon before we die to it. But Flicker Wisp is an answer, Path is an answer, Fail Push is an answer, Eldrazi Displacer is an answer. So we have a plethora of answers. So I'm not like very worried about it, but I definitely am uneasy about it. Never thought that. Actually, I'm not going to do that yet. First, I'm going to attack with Thought Knot and see what they do. I am assuming that they are not going to trade, but maybe they will. I was hoping they'd trade, but unfortunately they did not. Anyway, we will play our own Thought Knot. And take their Mimic and pass the turn. Maybe we took a little too many hits from their creatures. I thought that with the Flicker Wisp, we would be relatively safe from Copter, or at the very least we could find an answer. We just have so many ways to deal with Smuggler's Copter in our deck. But nonetheless, we didn't really have a great way of dealing with it. I'll keep this in mind for the next game that I should be a little worried about this particular spell. And will we find an answer? I don't think that's an answer. No, it is not, unfortunately. Although it might help us find an answer if the opponent messes up. But we shall see how they block. Okay. So now we do have a shot at hitting an answer, although Displacer is no longer an out. So let's see what we hit. It's a Flicker Wisp. Hallelujah. Let's see. With this Flicker Wisp, we can. We can do things with Orzhov Pontiff. We could simply blink Blade Splicer. We can blink Eternal Scourge if we really see fit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'll have to crew. I think if they hit, let's see, if they hit Relay Smasher, we would block. Yeah, we have enough. Wait, do we? No, we don't. So I guess Relay Smasher. No, wait, they can't even cast Relay Smasher. Never mind. Okay. So right now we hope they don't hit a removal spell, as that will kill us. But sometimes you just have to believe. Blink the Blade Splicer. And go from there. Also, well, it might have seemed better to also attack with Thalia. If we did that, that might prompt the opponent just to block with just block the Thalia, and then it made it hard for him to kill the whatever. No, kill our. Their Thought Knot. Oh no, they conceded. We got there. Very close game, as is clearly indicated by the fact that we're at 1 life total. A life total of 1. But yeah. I will see you guys for match number 4. Alright. Here for match number 4 of the Competitive Modern League with Black, White, Eldrazi and Taxes. We are on the draw, and opponent is keeping a 7-card hand. We will elect to keep our 7-card hand. While we only have 2 lands, we can cast both Eldrazi. And well, that only leaves Tanapsira as the sole uncastable card. Anyway, the opponent's like on basic island, passing the turn. This could be blue-white control, or Phoenix. Those are probably the two most popular decks right now that play basic island. Opt. Oh, Thoughtscour. Okay, that means that this is a Phoenix for sure, as seen by not just Thoughtscour, but also the cards that they milled. In particular, 2 lands that include red mana. And they played Opt, and now they're gonna shock themselves with the Steam Vents and play Serum Visions. With Serum Visions, they kept one on top and one on the bottom. Now we can play an Eldrazi Displacer, but I think it's a little better to play Leon Arbiter. Their deck doesn't contain fetch lands, and I just don't think the Displacer is gonna be doing much right now. So I'd rather just get Leon and Arbiter into play. They're going to shock themselves with the Steam Vents. I have a feeling we're going to see a Faithless Looting, some Phoenixes hit the graveyard, and us die. They discard Arclight Phoenix and Surgical Extraction, Bolt, Arbiter, and Opt, and bring back Arclight Phoenix, hit us for 3, bringing us down to 17. Alright, we're just Shambling Vent, going to play Eldrazi Temple, and cast our very own Thought-Knot Seer. Seer comes into play, and sighs because their hand is insanely good. I think we take Crackling Drake and play into Path to Exile, Thing in the Ice. I don't like leaving them with Snapcaster Mage, but I don't think we can beat any of these other cards. So yeah. Then pass the turn. So opponent's gonna attack for 3. No blocks. We go to 14. They play Misty, crack Misty, get an island, and play Thing in the Ice. Yep. And then they pass the turn. Maybe. Nope, they thought Scour. Okay. They mill Metamorphose and Opt. And now they pass the turn. So now what we're going to do is move to combat. Attack for 4. And then they're at 11. Okay. I think what we are going to do is Wasteland Strangler, the Arclight, and Path the Thing in the Ice. I think that's our best play. I don't want to play Displacers into Snapcaster plus Lightning Bolt. So anyway, I guess we shall do that now. So I'll make sure I have enough manas to achieve this goal. And we thankfully do. So, Wasteland Strangler, target Arclight Phoenix. Bring Crackling Drake there. Another Phoenix is temporarily gone. We're going to pass the turn. Unless we want to path thing now. No. I don't. I think we should do upkeep. This makes it very, very, very difficult for them to be able to flip Thing the Ice, but at the same token at time I don't want to give them a basic for their turn, as they have a mana intensive card in hand, aka Snapcaster Mage. And they have a Faithless Looting, they discard 2 Arc-like Phoenixes and Serum Visions. They're casting now. This is very worrying for us. Yeah, and now they're going to Snapcaster Mage, target Surgical Extraction in order to get 3 Thing the Ices into play. The good news is that this means that they're going down to 9, and if we draw a Path to Exile, they die. So now we just have to hope we draw Path Exile so they die. Oh wait, they got rid of them. So we cannot drop Path Exile. So, oh wait, they did not attack at all. So interesting. That was a lot of things just happened at once. Quite interesting. Anyway, so they have 2 cards in their exile zone. So what we're going to do is play Eldrazi Displacer. And then pass the turn. Hope they don't have much going on, but doesn't feel likely. At the very least, we can slow them down. Ooh, Power Ascension. Yeah, but I think it's a card we can beat. Especially if they're just flashing back looting. Yeah. We should be fine here, actually, right? They discard Arclight Phoenix and Fatal Looting. Let's see if they attack. If they attack, we win, but I don't think they're going to. Yeah. So we can tap down 3 of their creatures right now. And ugh. We're a little off. Could also activate Shipling Vent. I've only tapped down 2 of their creatures. I'm thinking as quick as I possibly can. Could also tap down one of the Arclight Phoenixes and tap down 2 of them. Attack, they have to jump with Snapcaster to take 6. Yeah, just not enough damage. Just not enough damage. Yeah, I think what we do is we just tap the Wasteland Strangler here. And then we will kill their Snapcaster Mage. By putting Thing Dice in the graveyard. And draw Tide Hollow. Okay. I've seen worse draws. I've seen better draws though. Yeah, I'm gonna play the tapped land, play Tide Hollow. See what's in their hand. It's a Fatal Looting, so we're gonna take the Fatal Looting. Not attack. But instead pass the turn and see what they draw up top of their deck. Good chance they flashback looting no matter what though, and they will. So they flashback looting. They don't get counter for Primate's Ascension, though, which is a-okay. They start laying axe and Scalding Turn, and then they cast a Thing in the Ice. Okay. And then they pass the turn. I think we got this game. Although it actually did 0 math, so I might be off. Anyway, we tap Thing in the Ice, then next turn we're going to tap 2 of their creatures, attack. They only get 1 blocker. So then they block Thought Knot, they take 8 down to 1. Oh my goodness. We don't got this. Awkward city. Population us. Shoot. Just looking at their graveyard, they don't have any Fatal Looting-esque effects. I think we have to wait 1 more turn. I hate doing that, but still. Next turn we get to activate Displacer 3 times. So they have 1 turn to draw an answer to Eldrazi Displacer, or else they are dead. I guess I could have Wasteland Strangler and Narcotic Phoenix. I guess I should have been doing that. No. Oh, it's saying this. Okay. Now they are dead. I believe. Um, we can we can tap down 2 and tap down 3. So we can tap down all our creatures. Yeah, they're dead. Okay. And finally, we got our math correct. I don't like doing math when I'm recording a match. I just like to tap mana and cast stuff or activate abilities. And then right click attack all. Alright, anyway. That is game 1. After an interesting one. Where despite the fact the opponents have some pretty good cards, they could not muster a victory. Yeah. Quite interesting how that game went. I honestly don't really know if the opponent played correctly. I think they should have attacked the first time they got those 3 Phoenixes, but I really can't remember what the board state was like back then. Anyway, Cure for game 2. Is it Phoenix is actually probably the biggest reason why I'm playing a main deck Cabal right now. So we didn't get to see him, but we do have another one coming in, plus Brent and Forge Tender. This is the first time I'm playing against this deck, and I will talk about it. Rest in peace in just a second. We not see the new flyer, so I'm a little hesitant to bring in too many failed pushes, but it does answer thing days. I think we're gonna bring in on the draw. We're gonna bring in at least 3 failed pushes. Now I'm gonna talk briefly about Rest in Peace. While this card does turn off Arc-like Phoenix, and I guess there are 1 or 2 of Snapcaster and Pyromancer's Ascension. Well, normally against Phoenix, this only turns off Arc-like Phoenix, and that is not a good enough reason for you to play Rest in Peace. Usually by the time you cast it, they already have Dark-like Phoenixes in play, especially if you're on the draw. Although in this version, since they have Snapcaster and Pyromancer's Ascension, I think I'm going to bring in at least 1, maybe 2, depending on how much room we have. But, oh yeah, Sail Wreckage is actually a really good card, because this Sail Wreckage I found to be a way better answer to Phoenix. Although if they have Pyromancers, I'm not sure how much I like it. I think we're going to see if we can bring in all these cards. Maybe only 2 fail pushes, but we'll see. We only have a minute to figure out what we're going to cut. Waves and Stranglers are pretty weak. So are Blades Blazers. While they attack and block well, that's pretty much all they do. And I think post board, especially on the draw, we want to be a little more defensive. Anyway, Leonard, there's a little bit of a weaker hate bear. You can cut at least 1. I think 2 can be cut. Otherwise, Displacer is quite good. Flickeros is a little weak. I think we still want. I think 1 can be cut, and then finally, that's kind of Aethervile. I don't want to have too many non-creature spells in the deck. We have 24 creatures. That's pretty low, but I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, let's try it like this. This is definitely a more controlling version of Blackwood E&T, but we are on the draw, so that's usually how we're gonna win our games. Anyway, here we are for game 2 against Is It Phoenix. As just mentioned, we are on the draw. While we're waiting, I would like to comment that I was quite surprised to see Pyromancer's Ascension in the main deck. I think I've seen it a couple times before, but it's definitely something that seems to be more recent technology by the opponent. Is It Phoenix opponents. I guess that's more to combat the some of the slower decks that hate on Is It Phoenix. But at the same token, like when you play cards like Pyromancer's Ascension, that makes your deck even more vulnerable to Graveyard Hate, and this format is full of Graveyard Hate, especially in the main deck. Relic of Regendus, Even seeing Relic Protections and blue-white control, and that just amazes me. Anyway, don't want to spend too much time on that tangent. I'm gonna keep his hand. 3 Thalias seems like a lot, but majority of the time they're going to kill Thalia, as their deck doesn't really operate with Thalia in play. So that's why I'm keeping his hand, despite the fact that it has 3 of the same legendary creature. They kept 7 and not play anything turn 1. That makes me think that they're going to play turn 2 Thing Dice, which probably is the best way for them to win through Thalias, but oh no, they just literally played nothing turn 2 as well. I'm going to play, I guess, Thalia number 1, and accept that she's going to get Lady Bolted. I could play Tide Hollow, but I think I'd rather wait a little bit for Tide Hollow until I can get a couple more removal spells out of their hand. Maybe I'd want to play it like next turn, the turn before they can play a Crackling Drake. It really depends what they do, though. Serum Visions on their turn. Okay. Hope that they're not going to play a Galor Collect Phoenix's back. Amorphos or Thing Dice. Yikes, that could be scary. They topped one, bombed the other. And I think we just want to play Thalia here. Try and slow down the Thing Dice. We don't have any of our, I believe we have 7 removal spells, 8 including Cell Wreckage. Hopefully we can find one of those sooner rather than later. And just on cue, they're going to bolt Thalia. Oh, I really feel the bolt coming. Oh, they literally played nothing, not even a land. I wonder if they accidentally F6'd or what. Now I'm looking at my mana situation, crying at how awkward it is. Because I can't play more than one spell this turn. Because these stupid Eldrazi temples. I think I'm just gonna play Cabal here. Maybe this will prompt Lightning Bolt on Thalia. Maybe? Or a Braid on Thalia. Okay. This should get some damage though, hopefully. Okay, great. Just add Lightning Bolt. Mono removal. The good news is that this should clear the way for Displacer. If we can hit a White Source, as much as I don't want to draw a land, if we can untap the White or Black Source, we could go Displace Tie Hollow into Displacer to try and... Oh, they just discard 2 Phoenix as well? Okay, now we just have to sell Wreckage. I take everything I said back. Hey, sell Wreckage. I'll just hope they don't play around it. I think it's very likely that they play around it though, because they can most certainly play around the card. Oh, they're not going to? Okay, great. Well, thank you, opponent, for not playing around Cell Wreckage. I appreciate your aggressiveness. And then they're going to Spell Pierce or Stubborn Denial me. I'm going to cry. Cry for my failure in playing around their one of. Anyway. We are still in an awkward position, but I'm going to play Thalia here. As I want to double spell. I don't want to just keep doing nothing. They have a looting graveyard, right? Yeah, they do. Oh, shoot. Let's tap correctly for this Eldrazi Displacer. Then we'll pass turn. Got kinda lucky on finding that Cell Wreckage the turn we needed. Definitely makes up for us not hitting any rule cells for that thing in the ice earlier. They have 4 in hand. They've already used 2 bolts, so I hope they don't have another. Well, they have a Lightning Axe, so that is not Lightning Bolt at least. But they have Snapcaster for Bolt. But they only have 1 hand, so maybe now Cabal can start. doing his thing. Ooh, rest in peace. That could be fun. The only problem is that, well, I think we're gonna do it. If they still have Louis in the graveyard, they do. This is a little risky as they have one card in hand. There's a very fair chance that they're just going to hardcast Phoenix Hiss to 4. They have bolts in their deck. I think we're gonna play the Rip though. There's a good chance also that their last card in hand's like a land. So doing this turn keeps them off of doing anything. They might just play Snap and Pass, for example. Yeah, perfect. Ooh, we drew the white source technically. Anyway, how risky do I want to live? I want to live pretty risky. I'm gonna play Cabal now instead of Tide Hollow. Maybe. Yeah. They've already played so many removal. No, I'm just gonna play safe. I think we can afford to play a little safe and play Tide Hollow here. And it's like if their last card in hand is something that's not impactful, I could just trade with Snapcaster Mage. They're going to fetch. Interesting. And their last card is Spire Bluff. Well, I feel bad for not playing Cabal, but that's okay. They drew a Mamorphos, sure. Still have Spire Bluff in hand. Ooh, blue Mamorphos. Opt. Oh no, I thought they cast 2 Mamorphoses there. They cast a Thought Scour or what? And then Braid. Sure. Still Spire Bluff in hand. Well, now hopefully there are removal spells because it's Cabal time. I think. Yeah, it's Cabal time. It's Cabal time. Yeah. So now even if they have a removal spell like a Lightning Bolt, they would need to I'm sorry, that would gain us 2 life. So now we would not be in Lightning Bolt range. Well, I guess Arclight Phoenix does not kill us because we get to block Snapcaster. So I don't think there's a way they can kill us because of this card. I mean, I'm 99.99% sure that they have a Spire Bluff Canal in their hand, so this should be resolving. Or the opponent lets it, and then I guess while we wait for them, we can talk about our next turn, where we could either cast Flicker Wisp or attack with Shambling Vent. Although we cast Flicker Wisp, we can blink our Godless Shrine, then pay 2 life for Godless Shrine, so we can block with Shambling Vent. Although that just sounds terrible now that I'm saying it out loud. I think it would probably just be best to attack with Shambling Vent, assuming that Cabal does not die. But this gains us 2 life, and I have a feeling that the life is going to be very valuable. Alright, they're going to cast their Faithless Looting, get that card disadvantage going. They're going to discard Spire Bluff and Opt. So they found something better than Opt. Probably, Crackling Drake. Okay, that's a card that can definitely kill us if we don't find a wow into a thing in the ice. Well, we went from winning to drawing yet another land and probably losing. Wow. This is very unfortunate. Yeah. Where were our fail pushes and Path Exiles? Well, not fail pushes, too late. But we would have been fine this turn. We could have just blinked one of our permanents. Guess I'll target our Power Match's Ascension. So now we need to hit fail push, bolt. Sorry. We either hit fail push. Not fail push. Why do I keep on saying fail push? Either need to hit path. Pretty much just path. Yeah, Thought Knot does not do it. So close, but the stupid Crackling Drake. That being said, I liked how we sideboarded and I liked how that game went. We will be on the play now though, so if we want to try to be a little faster, that is definitely possible. I think Leonardo looks a little better in play. Maybe bring in one more of those. I think we can take out failed push. This card is only good against Dingy's, and then I like all the other cards. I guess I'll just play. I don't know. I'll just cut an Aether Vial again. I want to have an extra hate bear. Could also cut Flicker Wisp, I guess. Yeah, let's just cut Flicker Wisp. This card's not really that good in this matchup, actually. I also could call all of them, but I think it's fine. Still have like 2 of them. And let's just run it back like this. For game number 3 against the Boogeyman, the format is a Phoenix, where we will be on the play. And this hand is quite bad, but we're going to keep it. We have no creatures, but we have turn to rip. Well, turn Vial, turn to rip, and a Path to Exile to back all of that up. So we're going to try it. We are going to try it. And hope we draw a couple of creatures. That's a creature. I think I'm going to play a turn to Rest in Peace right now. Be a little patient on the Untitled Chapter. Wait to get a little bit more information. Approaching the plane opt. And let me see what they did with the opt. I'm gonna keep track a little more closely this game. They bottomed it. They are playing a thing the ice. Okay. So we are going to on upkeep. Vial is going to trigger. We're going to check up to 1. And we draw another Aether Vial. Not the best, but I guess it could technically be worse. We're going to bring an Aether Vial. And I think we're going to bring in Tide Hollow on their draw step. Yeah, because I want to see what is going on in their hand. Hope their hand does not have many creatures, but we shall see. And their hand has 1 land, which is a mountain, along with cards, some which we can beat, some which we cannot. They don't have any removal. Doesn't mean that they're not going to find the removal. Shoot. I think we have to take the Crackling Drake. I think that's the hardest card to beat. So let's just take that one. Yeah, this is going to be a hard game to win. Unless we can find answers to their threats. I was hoping their hand did not have many threats in it, but unfortunately it did. And unfortunately we are low on cards. Anyway, they play Metamorphose, and now they're playing their Thickening the Ice and passing the turn. Okay, so Aether Vials are going to trigger. On our upkeep, one goes up to 1, the other one goes up to 3, I believe, and we draw Our third Aether Vial. Exactly what we wanted to find. Exciting gameplay. Play Ghost Quarter. Yes, we will pass the turn. Next step, they're going to opt. And with that opt, they're going to put the card on the bottom and draw for turn. At this point, I hope that they somehow brick. That doesn't feel very likely. They're going to lead off with a Faithless Looting. At this point, I think I will attempt to path the exile the thing that is on 2. And they will grab a basic island off of that. And the looting will resolve. This thing that is on 2. A very fair chance of flips, but who knows for sure. And this game totally demonstrating why I don't love Rest in Peace. I mean, I saw Pyromancer's Ascension and Snapcaster Mage, so I felt fine bringing it in. So keeping the Phoenix in hand, but these Guardling Axe and Inspire Bluff. They're bolting the Tide Hollow, yep. Getting back to Crackling Drake. So they have Phoenix, Crackling Drake, and 2 question marks in hand. And I guess they aren't cheap sorceries. I mean sorceries / instants, or else they would cast it to flip thing. So hopefully we draw something rather than our 4th Aether Vial. I thought bringing another 8th Vial would be helpful in the play where we want to be faster, but especially with Blackwood ENT. But yes, it's not exciting a land. It does bring you back to the first match where the opponent did flood quite substantially that last game. Things do happen. All this being said, though, if they don't play around steadily when we draw it, I don't think I'm pretty sure they would play around it, given how the last game went. But maybe they wouldn't, and maybe we'll draw it. I think that is a quite reasonable hope. I'm gonna take all these rolls up 1, so we can have 1 on 2, 1 on 3, 1 on 4. And then we draw a Thalia. That would have been great. Turn 3 or turn 2 and not turn 6, but that's okay. Better now than never. I don't know why I vialed her in rather than casting her, but that's what I did. Anyway, they're going to attack with both of those. Bring us down to 11. And 3 vial triggers. Gregor keeping his hand? I do not. I think his hand was very good and had lots of potential, but we just simply drew the wrong spells. And I just don't think you're gonna hand with Aether Vial and Rest in Peace against as a Phoenix. But yeah, we choke on the 3rd game and wrap up this match, heading into the final one. See you guys then. Alright, here for the final match of the competitive Modern League with Black, White, Eldrazi and Taxes. We are on the play, and this hand looks fine to me. Creatures, lands, and path. I'll keep. Of note, Path Exile can help feel Wasteland Strangler if we're against a deck such as Humans or Band Spirits, where they'll have small creatures. We are right now waiting on the opponent to make their decision for whether they wish to keep or mulligan. One interesting thing about black. Okay. Every time I just start talking about something to kill the time, I feel that that's when things start going. Maybe I should start doing that earlier then. Just think of a topic right away, start talking, then no more waiting time. Ooh, we're playing against Tron. Yeah, again. As apparent by their Urza's mine. And this hand isn't great against Tron. I mean, we have Leon Arbiter, but there are plenty of Tron hands that just don't care about Leon and Arbiter. And there's always a chance that they have Tower, Mine, and Power Plant in hand. And right now the opponent has priority and they finally passed it. Secondly, an Arbiter could be good. It's really going to depend what their hand is. I hope that their hand is one that requires some tutoring, as I'm not sure if we can win a game where they just go mine tower power plant or mine power plant tower without expedition map or Sylvan Scrying. But we shall see. We shall see. I mean, we also could just draw Ghost Core this turn, and that would make things a lot simpler in terms of our avenue of winning. Well, they played a tower and to a chalice. I don't care about chalice, but I do care about tower. I am quite worried right now. Anyway, I'm thinking of my possibilities. I don't even think it's worth killing Leonardo right now. I mean, playing a second Leonardo right now. I think I'd rather just flicker with the chalice just in case I want to Path Exile something next turn. Like, given how they play chalice, I guess that means that they're on Eldrazi which is a much worse matchup for Black-White Eldrazi and Taxes than Mono Green Tron, as they have removal and smaller threats and are just less reliant on their Urza's lands. So by flicker rotating their Chalice of Void, it'll come back on with no counters. So Path Exile will be castable. They don't have the third Urza land, which is good. We draw yeah, another Eldrazi Temple. Now, drawing too many temples was an issue last game. Looks like that is plaguing us right now. Anyway, they're at 13. 6, 7, 8 versus 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. Okay, so what we're going to do now is doing some math aloud. I'm going to play Leonardo here, pass the turn, and then this will set up lethal for 2 turns. But then we also get to Path Exile something. I was gonna basically say that I'm pretty sure they're gonna play something like Thought Knot Seer here, so we can now we can Path Exile the Thought Knot before it takes our path. Bless me, excuse me, sorry. Anyway. Oh no, our Thought Knot. So rude. Oh well. Wait. Oh, we had Leonardo play. I was like, why didn't they get basic? Forgot about our own arbiter. Ooh, perfect. We drew a land. Anyway, we're gonna attack for a bunch. They're at 6 now, so even if they block Wasteland Strangler, that would be 8 damage coming through. So I'm gonna play the Wasteland Strangler as a 3-mana 3/2. No, I'm not going to kill my own Leonardo. No. Why did I do such a thing? And at this point, I hope that they don't have Tronland to Annul's Dust or something like that. Or I guess Walking Ballista might even get them out of this. They could Ballista for 2. Yeah, Ballista would buy them quite some time, although that's not what this is. This is instead Realize Masher. I guess they could have Dismember here. Shoot. They're not conceding, so it makes me think they probably have a Dismember. Oh, well, we drew Flicker Wisp anyway. So, the Dismember issue is no longer there. So, we'll blink Reality Smasher. Of note, for Drew Path Exile, we had to keep the caves in hand so we could discard it and not have it get the path get countered. But anyway, we will attack for more than lethal. Although I guess if they had Dismember, they had to pay the life. Yeah. This is the last match. I am talking nonsense right now. So we will be sideboarding after the opponent has priority. I don't know why they're playing so slow. Maybe they have internet issues or something. I guess we can sideboard. Talk about sideboarding. Okay, never mind. I forgot. Once we start talking, they pass priority. Anyway, I was pulling up sideboard so we could talk about it. I wasn't sure how long they'd be. Anyway, here we are for sideboard. We did play against colorless Eldrazi. We're playing against a lot of colorless centric decks this league. Anyway, colorless Eldrazi is not a deck that I mean this isn't like colorless Eldrazi. In terms of like Veil Push, I don't like Veil Push as much in this deck. They don't have Smuggler's Copter. They don't have Eldrazi Mimic. They don't have any 2-drops besides quote unquote Walking Ballista, which isn't really a 2-drop, but it can get fail pushed. But then you are not very excited about fail pushing sorry, Walking Ballista. That's not really what we want to be doing. Kambal's not great. They have a lot of creatures in their deck. So that's probably... So is Wasteland Jungle. We don't have a lot of good cards in this matchup, do we? I think Orzhov is fine as a combat trick. Stoney's also fine. Stop Walking Ballista. And other artifacts. Although, it's not really that great. I'm definitely going to cut Kambal. Though. I think I'm going to bring in one Orzhov Pontiff. I just really don't like Stoney's odds against them, even though it stops Walking Ballista. I think Thalia is still fine. Late Blizzard. I think Wasteland Strangler, while it doesn't kill anything, I think it's pretty much going to be a combat trick, just like Orzhov Pontiff. So that's what we're going to bring in. And we're going to run like this. Again, I don't like Fail Push. Triggering Revolt is not easy enough to bring in as an answer at the last tier. Plus, their main threats are Thought-Knot, Relay Smasher, Endbringer, and then even more expensive cards, so it's not really reliable. Anyway, here we are, game number 2 against Eldrazi Tron. We are on the draw, and opponent's mulligan 6. We're going to mulligan as well. 1 land, no Aether Vial. This hand is keepable. We do need an Eldrazi Temple to smooth things out, but otherwise it's fine. I don't love Thalia, I don't love Wasteland Strangler, but I do love these two disruptive creatures, and they're going to 5. Wow. That's a low card number. I'm gonna bottom Wasteland Strangler. Already mentioned how I don't really like that card in the matchup, or I'm really a big fan of this card in general in the card meta. Which is actually why most black-white ENT lists run 3, and I've opted to only run 2. And the reason for that is that this card's really only good against humans, Bane Spirits, which are sure they're some of your worst matchups. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I did not expect to see an expedition map in the deck that played a Chalice of the Void for 1. Huh. I guess the format really does need you to be disruptive. Playing Chalice Expedition map in the same deck feels a little loose to me, but at the same token, when you are playing a Tron deck, you do want to have ways to search out lands. You just don't want to be playing 4 of each Urza land and just pray. Anyway, looks like we're going to be seeing the, Matter Shaper. And they only have 2 in hand. They're not working on a lot, which means there's a good chance that Tide Hollow will stick around. Let's see if I can remember what I was talking about. Yeah, Wasteland Strangler. Yeah, when you look at the top decks of Modern, there's Dredge, which is a matchup where you don't want this card. This card doesn't really kill the creatures very well. And then when you're returning card to the graveyard, a lot of times it's a card that they want in the graveyard. So it's pretty bad in that matchup. It's really bad in Is It Phoenix, as it doesn't kill any of the cards that aren't like Phoenix. And then Grixis Death Shadow is another top deck that in the format this doesn't do anything against. This does nothing against the blue control decks. It doesn't do anything against trying to remember what else there is. Against Tron, as we just play against, and it's very weak in this matchup. And their hand. Anyway, there goes their dismember, leaving them with a ghost quarter, so now the opponent is right now operating on top of their deck, where we want them to be at. And we shall... Wow, they drew a dismember right up top. Uh-oh. That is not good for us. As Silent Seer, it will be exposed when we play it on turn 4, unless we draw a temple here, in which case I will most certainly slam it. I don't care if they will draw a card. There's a very good chance that the card that they draw is non-land card. Besides, by doing this, I get to the following turn play both Thalia and Wasteland Strangler. It's a way better play with my mana. Also, they're at 12 now from all these dismembers. Their card is a land, of course. That's very unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, the opponent's gonna attack for 3, bringing us down to 14. And pass. They're going to pass the turn. We draw a Thalia. Shoot, sorry. We're gonna play the Caves of Koilos, play Thalia. And then we're gonna play a Wasteland Strangler. Maybe. Um. Hmm. Okay. I hate playing this as a vanilla 3-2, but I think we have to deploy our threats before they start drawing their giant creatures. We've been drawing quite poorly this game. I can't remember how many lands we kept, but I think we'd have more than 3 lands in hand. Which means we drew 2 lands and Athalia. At least. No, I think we kept the hand with 2 lands, yeah. So we drew 3 lands and Athalia. Yeah. Oh no, we mulliganed 6, sorry, my bad. So it'd be, yeah, 2 lands, Athalia, Worrisome Strangler, Tidal Hollow, and Thought Knot. So we drew 3 lands and Athalia, so not very impressed with how my deck's been drawing but this game, but that's alright. We do have the more commanding board position right now. Curious what land to get. I know there's that colorless land that can draw a card if the owner has no cards in hand, but they did not grab that, so they grabbed the temple. Could mean that they have a Annual Mogger. I don't know, Miller Giant draws in hand. That also could mean Endbringer, as the one I was looking for. Could also just mean that they want to get the most powerful land available in their deck. Who knows? Guess we'll find out this turn what they got. I mean, they didn't play anything last turn. And they did have the mana to play an Endbringer last turn. Anyway, they just play Expedition Map and pass the turn. So now... Ugh. One just dies, right? Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is Flicker Wisp the Matter Shaper. And by doing that, we can get in 5 damage, bring them down to 7, and then we'll have 8 power on board, and we may be able to get lethal the following turn if they this is assuming they have nothing in hand and they also draw nothing, and we draw way to get rid of Matter Shaper, whether it be Path and the Flicker Wisp, Eldrazi Displacer, etc. By etc. I mean that's those are the only ways. Anyway, we're gonna attack for 5. Wonder if the opponent is contemplating whether they want to play a Spatial Contortion or not. Or this is just their uh more mythological gameplay that we've been seeing with them. Also, just a quick side note, I do not want to play Gala Shrine. They're tapped, because if they kill our Thalia, then I'd like to play Gala Shrine tapped and play the Thalia right away. I do not fear a All's Dust. I know that occurs a possibility, but I am no coward when it comes to board wipes. Although I guess that's a little hypocritical when considering how I played pretty conservatively when the opponent had a languish. In our first match of this Quebec Marne League. Let's see. Don't see anything about the opponent disconnecting. Okay, they're back. So, not doing anything. I'm just gonna play the Godless Shrine. Tapped. And pass the turn. And on our end step, I'm going to assume that they will sacrifice their expedition map to search up a land that is probably either Eldrazi Temple or a utility land such as Ghost Quarter, maybe Sanctum of Ugin. Who knows? Probably figure out in about a minute and a half. Let's talk about the Godless Shrine. This is the Godless Shrine from Guild Pact, and it was the cheapest Godless Shrine on Magic Online. I think it was under $1 when I bought. In paper, this is the cheapest non-foil. This is the not cheapest. This is the most expensive non-foil Godless Shrine. I don't know the price in paper offhand, but it's definitely more than $10. I find it quite interesting though how this is more expensive than say the Return to Ravnica art, even though the Guild Pact shocks are considered to have better artwork. I guess people just really don't care about their the art and their cards on Magic Online. I mean, these the foil thallies I have are cheaper than the non-foils when I got them, I believe. Either that or it was pennies. They got the last Eldrazi Temple, cool, and they played it. Oh no, they're playing something. Is all's dust? Oh, Sulmog. Ugh. Just wish the opponent would play a little faster. Anyway, they're not even gonna attack. They really fear things. Anyway, we're gonna play a Thalia and pass the turn. Let's see what will happen now. Yeah, I thought not sure. Yeah, I think we're just dead now. Even if we find Path Exile for Dual Mog. We're going to be facing a lot of creatures. No blocks. Still surprised to see the maps, but maybe I shouldn't be. Okay, wow. We're just super dead. Oh, there's Path. You know, this would have been great last turn before we took in so much damage. We could path the Thought and hope to draw another path. Let me see. So if we path Ulamog here, we can always easily block Matter Shaper and block. Okay. No, I think we have a plan. I have a plan at least. Question remains is, am I willing to go to 7 cards in my deck? No way. They drew a... Is this a Relay Smasher? This is a Relay Smasher. What is this? A card. So rude. Yeah, there's a tower. You can play the Urza's tower. I think I actually want to see them attack with all their creatures. Now we have 7 cards in our deck, but I have no fear whatsoever. Anyway, we're going to Nightmare, Gala Shrine. Sorry, I got something in my throat. Oh, they have a Ghost Quarter. Shoot. Well, it just foiled my plan. I wasn't keeping track of that. Okay. I can't win at that point. I should have kept track of that, but I don't think it would matter. It shouldn't have mattered. Anyway, after seeing more of their deck, I like how we sideboard. Well, I really don't like Wasteland Strangler. I think I'm gonna cut both of them. They're just so dorky. I'm gonna bring in Second Order of Pontiff. I think the Anthem and such will be useful. And then also bring in 1 Stony Silence to stop their maps and such. Don't want to bring in too many of those though, and we will submit it and prepare for match number 3 against Eldrazi Tron. See what we can find. Fine, I'll keep it. They kept as well. We have Leonardo, which apparently is pretty good against them, since they actually do have Expedition Map. I mean, now that I'm remembering it, I do remember that they do run Expedition Map, but for some reason I completely forgot about that. Anyway, they don't have Expedition Map when we have our Leonardos, yet they do when we don't. Heart of Stars don't align against this deck. Can you find Ghost Quarter now, please? Please? Nope. I asked, but I did not receive. Anyway, they are probably going to do Chief Tron. They kept their 7-card hand, and I am quite worried. I think because I'm going to play Leon Arbiter, and then hold up Path Exile for a potential Thought Knot, Reality Smasher, Endbringer, big, juicy Eldrazi that will come into play. The opponent is thinking. Yep, told you they'd drawn. Yep, they have a Chalice, so now Path's gonna do nothing as they play the stupid Thought Knot or Reality Smasher. It is a Thought Knot. Disappointing way to end. But it's alright. This is a very difficult matchup. It's one that looks better than it should because Margaret Tron is a very good matchup. But then when you play against a Tron deck that has a lot of random answers to your deck, and all of a sudden the matchup becomes very unfavorable. Because even though they can be disrupted by Ghost Quarter, like Leonardo and Thalia hurt a lot less, and they also have removal to make Tide Hollow and Thought Knot less powerful as well, and then the whole thing is just rough for us. Yep, here's a Ballista to kill us. Have to kill his Splacer and still have the Ballista alive. And they're gonna pass the turn because I don't think you're gonna attack Thought Knot, although I will gladly double block. Okay, they're gonna let me double block. These Leonardos aren't doing anything. Hopefully we actually I don't think there's anything we can hit at this point. but we shall see. Caves doesn't do anything, nor does Concealed Courtyard. I'm just gonna concede right now. Ballista's gonna become huge and kill our creatures. Even if we hit Stony Silence, we still have 4 cards in hand. You know what? No, never mind. I'm not gonna give up fighting, even though facing turn 3 Tron without Expedition Map or mulliganing is quite demoralizing. But you should not quit when you're playing Magic. Always play your outs. Always play to your out. Anyway, we played Thalia, we're gonna play Concealed Courtyard past the turn. On their turn, they're gonna play a Seagate Record, so they did have that card in their deck. And they're gonna pump Ballista. Sure. Kill Thalia, sure. And play your Ally Smasher. Or thought not. Thought not. Okay. And attack us for 1. Yeah, at this point, even if we find Stony, we're still severely behind. Yeah, it's an Aether. Okay, now at this point, I'm just gonna concede. I'm not gonna win this one, and that will end the league. 3-2, which is still pretty good, but those last 2 matches were very close and might even winnable if we could have drawn. If our draws would have aligned a little bit better, but anyway, thank you guys for watching this league, and I'll see you guys for the wrap up. So overall, we went 3-2 in the competitive Modern League, winning against Black Green Midrange, Mono Green Tron, and Colorless Eldrazi, while losing 2 close matchups to Is It Phoenix and Eldrazi Tron. And overall, the deck felt alright. There were some sketchy mana issues, but the deck did do fine. I didn't get to see Cabal as much as I wanted to, though, the main deck Cabal. But we did get turn 2 Thought Knot. Also, these Hate Bears and Tidal Skullers. I was hoping to see them be deployed a little faster and aggressively, as that's really what Black White Eldrazi and Taxes wants to be doing compared to, say, Mono Eldrazi and Taxes. This deck wants to be a lot more aggressive, as you can see by the much lower curve. But overall, like the deck still performed pretty well. Looking briefly at the sideboard, Orzhov Pontiff did end up shining against Colorless Eldrazi. I would like to mention that I did do some off-camera practicing, and there were many different games where Orzhov Pontiff just won. I had win against Merfolk. I've had to work against Blue-White Control. It's just been an excellent card. Rest in Peace has been pretty good, and I'm still happy to have this card in sideboard. Fail Push has been alright, although the Revolt is definitely relevant, and to the point where I almost want to play Dismember, or maybe even just a Cast Down, in order to be able to kill creatures such as Crackling Drake, or Gurmag Angler, or Thought Knot Seer, more consistently Yard Owl. But still, after playing this through League and doing some testing before this league, I feel that this list it's alright. I probably would I think I like the main deck, but the sideboard I think I would change Fail Push for more a less conditional but more absolute removal spell. I also might want to try to figure out a way to work in a Force Rest in Peace or a Relic Progenitus, and I'm not really sure if the 3s and 4s are perfect, or Subpontiff, while it's been good, it might just be similar to Schlei, where it's like decent against a variety of decks, but never really a card you want to bring in, especially as Humans Advanced Spirits are severely on decline. But overall, the deck played fine. I still am going to advocate for Eldrazi and Taxes out bias. I just really don't enjoy how this deck operates in terms of not just the mana, but also the cards. And the strategy due to cards such as Howl Sculler and Wasteland Strangler force you to play a lot faster and makes it harder for you to win later games. Although, as seen in this league, you definitely can win games that go very long, but you don't have the value engines or just powerful spells such as Restoration Angel in Mono Eldrazi and Taxes. But Black Eldrazi and Taxes is still disruptive and fast and powerful. It makes it overall a pretty good deck. Sorry, in the current modern meta. And anyway, before I end this video, I'd like to ask, if you haven't already, if anyone mind to like, share, subscribe, comment, do any of that. I would greatly appreciate it. It supports the YouTube channel and keeps me motivated to continue making more of these videos. And in addition, if you wish to learn more about Black Eldrazi and Taxes, or anything Death and Taxes for that matter, be sure to visit my website, dntcentral.com. The link is in the description. There are articles on these decks along with matchup guides for some of the matches that we play against, like Mono Green, Tron. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, comment what deck you'd like to see next, and I'll see you guys for the future video.